As a man, you need to be on your purpose. What God has for you, that's where you need to be going in life.
Runs I'm hitting and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Napoleon Hogan's Ministry. Today we are in Proverbs 31. This is for our 31 days of Proverbs, 31 days in March. As you can see, it says April up there. Had a little bit of an issue with my computer crashing and destroying the videos I had already recorded. But we're going to push through and get this done and complete this like I set out to do. So like I said, today we are in Proverbs 31. Now, Proverbs 31 is well known for its description of what a godly woman is. That's basic. The whole chapter, the whole overview of the chapter is a mom talking to her son. The son is writing this down off remembrance of what his mother has told him, right? To pay attention to the things that she believes will be helpful for him. And quite frankly, these are helpful for any man. Now, the perspective in which I read the verses that stood out to me from are going to be in the context in which they were written from a mom to a son. So I'm going to read them in the perspective of a man, right? Although everyone can get something from this chapter, it was really written to men, two young men, from a mother, right? From a mother to her son, and then now all young men can look at this and glean wisdom from it. Okay, so speaking of which, there are several verses I had written down. They're on my tablet here. I'm going to go ahead and read them. So verse 3 stood out to me. It says, "Don't spend your energy on women or your efforts on those who destroy kings." So what this is saying is, as a man, you need to be on your purpose. What God has for you, that's where you need to be going in life. And on that path for your purpose, God will bring women in your life that he approves of that will be able to partner with you on your purpose, right? So, because you got to think, if you go back to Genesis, when God created man, he created man first, gave him a purpose. And then man realized he needed a partner, and God gave him a wife. So this is consistent throughout Scripture. Look at any example of a godly man in the Bible, and you will see that he is always on his purpose when he finds the woman God has for him. He is doing what he is supposed to be doing. So don't be chasing women and allowing them to take you away from your purpose, okay? I'm not talking about like pursuing, but she has to be on the path you're going. If she is going somewhere that you're not going, y'all are not meant to be together in general. Verse 8 stood out to me. It goes, "Speak up for those who have no voice, for the justice of all who are disposed." This is something that is innately a part of masculinity, to stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. That is basically what she's saying here to her son. Verse 10 says, "Who can find a wife of noble character? She is more precious than jewels." So the next set of verses that stood out to me were verses 10, 11, and 12. And because they go together, I'm going to read them together. Verse 10, "Who can find a noble wife of character? She is more precious than jewels." Verse 11, "The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he," talking about the husband, "will not lack any good thing." Verse 12, "She rewards him with good, not evil, all the days of her life." This is a fantastic description of a godly helpmate, a godly wife. If you're with somebody and they don't fit this description, you need to pray and reevaluate whether or not you're with them. And if you married them, then you need to pray and ask God to work on their heart and work on you as well. I really like the part where it says his heart safely trusts her, meaning that she is trustworthy and she is there for his good, where it says she rewards her husband with good all the days of her life. She doesn't give excuses why she will or will not do something. Now, granted, this is coming from the perspective of the guy being an awesome godly man, but that is also a little bit besides the point, because we're talking specifically about Proverbs 31 and about the woman. She rewards him with good all the days of her life. She finds ways to bless him. Doesn't have ridiculous standards. She won't do this, she won't do that, and she doesn't give him attitude. She's not difficult with him. Not saying that y'all won't have disagreements, but the point I'm trying to make here is she genuinely loves him and wants good for him. And it comes out in her actions. She will sacrifice for him. She will do for him. Think about him first, just like he should think about her first. This whole thing is a really good character test for the woman that you think you're supposed to marry. Having this memorized and in your heart would be a good thing, because it would help you avoid those who just aren't ready to be wives. And you got to make sure you're also ready to be a husband. But this is a huge blessing, because it says right here, who can find a wife of noble character? Finding a wife of noble character can be very difficult. And you notice where it says wife, right? Not girlfriend, not fiance. It says wife. Women who become good wives were wifey material before they got there. They already had the characteristics of a wife before they got there. That's why they got wifed up most of the time. But anyway, I hope this video blessed you. If it did, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with somebody you think it'll bless as well. Put what you got from this chapter in the comments below. Look forward to reading it. Now we are done with this challenge. Thank you for hanging out with me these past 31 days in March. Until you see me in another video, God bless.